Sample problem 2.8. Name the following binary molecular compounds. The first one is NF3, and the second one is N2O4. So I've broken out here a list of the nonmetals that we would use in naming binary molecular compounds. Binary molecular compounds are such that they involve only nonmetals. There are no metals unlike ionic compounds. And we don't generally think of the elements in the formula as having charges like we do with ionic compounds. Sodium chloride, an ionic compound, we think of the sodium as being positively charged and the chlorine as being negatively charged. That's not true for molecular compounds. So we'll use the prefix system, and so prefixes should be memorized. The prefixes are 1 is mono, 2 is di, 3 is tri, 4 is tetra, 5 is penta, 6 is hexa, 7 is hepta, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, and we'll stop at 10. 10 is deca. Okay? So in general, the naming of these binary, meaning there's two parts, there's two elements that we're naming. These binary molecular compounds, the naming system is not that different from ionic compounds, binary ionic compounds like sodium chloride. In sodium chloride, you name the first element, and then you name the second element and change the ending to IDE. Here, we indicate how many atoms of each element there are, with one exception, by using these prefixes. The exception is the first element. If the first element is only one atom, we drop the mono. We don't put mono. So let's try the first one. So it's NF3. Okay, so you name the first one, nitrogen, and then you name the second one and you change it to IDE, the ending to IDE, but you use the prefixes. So 3 is tri. So tri, fluorine becomes fluoride, trifluoride. Now again, the one exception is you don't put mono on the first element. You do put mono on the second element. So for example, if I had CO, it would be carbon monoxide. And we do avoid two O's. So not monoxide, but monoxide. You're not using the mono on the first element, but you do use it on the second one. Okay, let's try N2O4. Okay, no mono here, so that's not an issue. There's 2 nitrogens, so 2 is di. So dinitrogen. And then there's 4 oxygens, tetraoxide. Now, just so you know, a lot of times, if you have the O tetraoxide, it's very common for people to drop the A. Okay, so you never put 2 O's together. We would never say monooxide, but it would be okay to say tetraoxide or tetroxide. It sounds a little nicer to say tetroxide instead of tetraoxide, but you'll see both of those out there. If you have, for example, let's try one more. Let's do SF6. Okay, first element sulfur. Remember, no mono for the first element. Second element is fluorine, so that gets changed to fluoride. 6 is hexa. So hexa fluoride. Okay, that's essentially how it works. 2 nonmetals, right? These are called molecular compounds. So those are different than the ionic compounds.